Yeah, please go ahead.
quickly comment on the word human. Some people think if you're being human, you're not being Islamic, and this is wrong.
Of course.
According to a hadith in the, I think in Sahih Muslim,
Yes.
one of the mushrikeen, one of the polytheists who became a companion of the Prophet, asked the Prophet that, what is going to happen to my good deeds which were done in the period of ignorance?
Times,
that's right,
yeah.
that's right, when he was a non-Muslim. So the Prophet replied in a very important way. He said, Aslamta ala ma aslafta min khair. So he called it khair, goodness. You became a Muslim in addition to what you have done, the goodness you have done in the past. So the Prophet said it's goodness, even if it was done by someone who is not a Muslim. So even if you do it from a humanitarian, which is the most basic motivation you can give out from, even if you do it just because of that, you are rewarded. But your reward multiplies if you do it for the sake of Allah. So just a quick comment on. Some people might think it's difficult to become Muslim as well as a humanitarian.
And remember, Allah is so merciful that when He sees a human being is being merciful to another human being,
That's right.
that is considered very highly by Allah the Almighty.
Definitely, yes.
Right, solutions for the adversity.
Yeah,
Can we
as
talk
I
about that?
mentioned, and just in more detail, the first solution is the fast track solution, which is to get help as quick as possible. This campaign actually represents one of these grand initiatives to...
This is immediate, short term.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
And there's the long-term solution, which is governmental, organizational, but this one is mainly individual. These individuals at the Prince Sultan Stadium,
Prince Faisal bin Fahad Stadium, yes.
Yeah, these people are actually creating the achievement. These individuals are doing the success story. Now, the success story is going to be written in the name of these individual people, in addition to the organizations and the government. But we need also a success story for governments in the Islamic world to be written. And this requires that they take the initiative in order to design projects and long-term plans in order to overhaul the whole system in Somalia, and also bring the strife among the brethren in Somalia to an end, and carry on after that to create the necessary economical progress.
Absolutely. And this is, we'll talk in a minute about the status of charity in Islam, especially in the month of Ramadan.
That's right.
But when you think about it, it's really being thankful to Allah the Almighty for giving you all these ni'mas, all these beautiful blessings from Allah the Almighty, having a house, or living peacefully in your country, having food on your table, and having family around you, and not needing, being self-sufficient in all the necessary or basic needs.
That's right.
You need to be thankful to Allah the Almighty for
That's
that.
right.
And the basic way, or the most basic way of thanking Allah the Almighty is to give those who need it.
That's right. Otherwise, as the verse mentions, otherwise you'll be harming your own self.
Absolutely.
You're destroying yourself. Because you're in a position which requires a response. If this response doesn't take action, then you're responsible for not taking action, which means responsible that you're either sinful or not sinful. So you cannot choose, in the middle.
And there's pleasure in doing it.
Of course, there's pleasure. Of course.
And you feel pleased that you're helping others.
That's right.
In addition to the reward that you're going to get from Allah, the Almighty, you also get a feeling of pleasure that you're helping somebody. You're taking someone from suffering, from their suffering conditions.
That's right. This is why, according to a hadith narrated by Bukhari and Muslim, is that narrated by Timothy, is that the charity puts off the sins just as the water puts off fire. All of us have some kind of fire inside us. This fire is the fire of greed, the fire of possessiveness, the fire of covetousness and competitiveness and selfishness. This fire cannot be extinguished only except through the channel of charity and doing good to other people.
Excellent, excellent.
Right.
So by giving sadaqah, by giving charity, you're actually building your own
promoting your own
character.
Character, that's right.
Exactly, a positive character, a giving character.
Definitely, that's right.
So let's talk about the status of charity in Islam, especially in this great month of Ramadan.
It's a very big topic, but we'll talk about it in brief terms. The charity, of course, there is voluntary charity and there is also compulsory charity, which is the compulsory zakah.
Right. Almsgiving, is it?
Almsgiving, or some people call it tax giving or something like that. But in essence, the important concept underlying charity in Islam is that everything you own, even your own self, belongs to Allah. Allah is the one who gives the things, is the one who creates, is the one who chooses, is the one who wills. And your main responsibility as a Muslim, whereupon Muslim is derived from submission, which means that you do what your Lord wants you to do, in addition to what He has built inside you as a humanitarian instinct, that you give out charity, you help other people, and you sympathize with them. Charity is not something you give for something in return in the present life. If we talk about, for example, capitalistic and socialistic or communist, ways of understanding the concept of charity, you will find defects in one way or another. You will never find something which is done only for the sake of Allah. There is some self-interest, and it takes a large portion of the motivation of charity in these systems. But in Islam, you can see, as we saw before a few minutes in the report and the scenes, the people are flooding the whole place in order to help their brethren, and they're giving almost anything they could do. This is proof, because when I say proof, in another hadith which is narrated by Muslim, it says وَالصَّدَقَةُ burhan. Charity is a proof. A proof of what? A proof that you're being a good person. You're not just only assuming that you're a good person, but you're actually acting towards being a good person and building
You're
that
trying
character.
to avoid being greedy and selfish.
That's right.
And trying to give out and help others. There's
That's
very good news. I've just been told by the director that the amount of donations reached 90 million.
Wow.
295,667 Saudi riyals. Alhamdulillah.
That's
very
nice.
That's
Very
we're
wonderful.
nearing the 100, inshallah, very soon. 100 million Saudi riyals. Inshallah, we will exceed that, inshallah, bi'idhnillah.
Inshallah.
I think we will reach
I think
more than 200 for our
definitely.
brothers and sisters in Somalia.
That's right. Well, there's nothing definitely to fear or be afraid of. ما نقص مال من صدقة.
That's great.
If you give sadaqah, this is a hadith which says basically that giving out sadaqah or charity will never diminish your wealth. It will increase it.
This is, you see it in practice.
That's right. Yeah,
you can feel it.
Yeah, that's right.
You can feel it, and a lot of people talk about it.
It's a real experience.
And we have examples. We have some of the, alhamdulillah, the very good, sincere businessmen here in Saudi Arabia who donate a lot.
That's right.
Who give millions, hundreds of millions of riyals
to
Muslims, to needy Saudis, or to Muslims who need their help outside the kingdom.
That's right.
Through building mosques, hospitals, giving them food, or helping them depend on themselves by cultivating land and farming or whatever. You see these people are very successful, and they're, subhanAllah, their money multiplies. And
I think there's a hidden dimension
richer and richer.
Definitely, there's a hidden quality here which is called barakah. This hidden quality, you cannot sense it, you cannot see it in the laboratory or under a microscope. Yes. It is something which comes as a blessing from Allah Azza wa Jal. Yes. Barakah is something which we all want to live. Barakah in our time, blessing in our time, in our lives, in our wealth, in our offspring, in our wives. All this concept of blessing comes with believing in Allah, believing in the unity of the Islamic community. That's right.
I also remember there was a saying, but I'm not sure about it. You might want to help me with it, about a woman who committed so many sins, adultery and many sins.
That's right.
But she was merciful one time, only one time. She saw a dog that was very hungry, very thirsty. And she was, I think, she was drinking water from a well. And once she felt satisfied, she quenched her thirst.
That's right.
She looked at this dog, and she felt that the dog was as thirsty as she was. And she went and got some water for the dog. Allah,
Subhanallah. That's right.
yani she entered
Forgave her.
paradise.
That's right.
Allah rewarded her for that.
That's right.
Allah is the most merciful.
Alhamdulillah.
And
that's
once you are merciful to a human being or an animal or whatever, Allah is even more merciful.
right. Definitely, that's right.
So she entered paradise, Al-Jannah, because of this one deed. She didn't even get money,
That's right.
just water.
That's right.
You see how merciful
Yeah,
Allah
yeah,
is.
and very
how
simple. She didn't put much effort in it. It's a very simple act.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
right. Yeah.
So let's continue. We will be. I hope that you got the numbers, ladies and gentlemen. We just a reminder for the SMS number, the unified SMS number that you can donate through, and that is 5565. You can send number 1 for if you want to donate 10 riyals, or 2 for 20 riyals, and 3 for 30 riyals. And the numbers for the account at NCB, National Commercial Bank, will be also shown every now and then. You can see the number of the amount of donation on the screen now. It's 90 million Saudi riyals, over 90 million Saudi riyals. You can see it clearly on
Brilliant.
the screen. Alhamdulillah, that's great. That's wonderful. And many thanks to all those who donated. And we expect, inshallah, that everybody who hasn't donated to donate
True.
to, inshallah,
Definitely,
reach 200 or more, because our brothers and sisters are in dire need, ladies and gentlemen, of our help. My next point, Sheikh Abdullah, is the kingdom's role at the national and international levels.
Yeah, the kingdom actually plays a very strategic role, whether geographically, whether politically, and whether religiously, actually, in helping and contributing to the solution of many problems worldwide, and especially in the Muslim world. And I think this has to do with many factors. Maybe first of all, the aqeedah, the correct aqeedah of the country. If you have the correct aqeedah, which is actually the correct worldview, the correct understanding of life, you're actually a candidate to understand how to manage different issues and how to understand international relations and to cope with them. So I think this is a very important aspect of our policy, of our outlook on life, and the kingdom's policies and role also in contributing to the solution of different problems worldwide has been appreciable.
Excellent. Of course, if we go back if we look at this year specifically, we remember there was a campaign last year in Pakistan to help the people who were suffering from the natural calamities they had, or the natural disasters. There was flooding everywhere, and people lost their houses and lost their belongings, and they were in dire need for help. And alhamdulillah, Saudi Arabia helped with huge amounts of money.
That's right.
Also in the United States of America, the Katrina problem, if you remember. There was a huge problem there, and some Saudi companies, I think, helped. So we help everybody.
True.
This is the nature of.
There are many instances we can cite in this.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Which means that we're always trying to take part in positive acts in helping the needy or people who are in hardship.